This is the Phillies POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Philadelphia Phillies. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
So I'm just spitballing ideas here. Maybe, hear me out, maybe, wait for it, possibly it could be that Jordan Romano wasn't the only problem with this team. I'm just an idea man, okay? I don't know. But it appears that although Jordan Romano not very good at his job, there's a lot of guys on the Philadelphia Phillies that also, hear me out, might not be good at their job. 2 for 10 with runners in scoring position tonight. Jesus Luzardo loses his marbles over home plate umpire Willie Trader, who, by the way, was also terrible. He followed in the footsteps of the guy behind home plate last night, and Scott Barry, who also managed from third base to make a terrible call as well. And that one went in favor of the Phillies, but still managed to mess up over there all the way to third base. That's amazing. And then training was terrible. But that's not an excuse. That's just an acknowledgement for both sides, all right, being real, how terrible it was. And if you're a fan of human error, oh, you can't have robo-umps because you need human error in the game. Then congratulations. You had a great night tonight. Oh, baby. You're wearing your human error jersey at the game, probably rooting on human error because you love it so much. There's enough human error in baseball. And I'll Exhibit A, the Philadelphia Phillies baseball team, who, when you got a struggling pitching staff, you swing at the first 2 pitches in the inning there with Kyle Schwarber and Bryce Harper. Neither one of them. The one Schwarber got, yeah, that's one he could blast off, certainly. But when you're in a state like he was in at that time, I believe that made him 0 for 15. That was the 0 for 15. Yeah, I think that was the 0 for 15 on that first pitch there in the 7th inning, I want to say. And then Bryce Harper comes up. He swings at the first pitch. That also was not a good pitch to swing at. But, hey, he already made up his mind to be aggressive, so that's the way that one went. And I got another thing for you. Bryce Harper. Like, of all the Phillies tonight, Bryce Harper, all right, he had 3 hits tonight. Great to see that. He had the 2-run single, put the Phillies in front 2-0. That was great. Let me tell you something, and I don't feel like I'm being overly negative. I hated that 2-run single from Bryce Harper. You know why I hated that 2-run single from Bryce Harper? Because he was facing Gregory Soto! And if anyone knows how much Gregory Soto can just blow up an inning, it should be any member of the Philadelphia Phillies that has been here over the last couple of seasons, and Bryce Harper has certainly been here for that. And instead of being a little patient, he puts it off his hands that dropped into left field, thank God, and 2 runs scored on it. I'm just saying is all. I think Gregory Soto had more of a grapefruit he was willing to throw Bryce Harper later in that at bat. Or maybe he works a bases loaded walk. Maybe you keep it going. Maybe even more pressure's building up on Soto. I God's honest truth. Remember, my rule with hot takes, people, it's not a hot take if you believe it. And I'm not saying you, I mean me. And I honestly saw that. I went, okay, they scored 2 runs, but they're going to need a lot more than that against this Mets team, unfortunately. And I will say this. As this game went on, anything the Phillies did positive, Exhibit A, the 2-run home run by Harrison Bader to tie the ball game at 5. At that moment, I swear, my first thought was, this is going to make this loss that much harder. I swear. And that was my God's honest truth. First reaction was the ball was hit, and I don't know what the cameraman was doing, what was going on there, but it was like, it felt like the line from Major League, like, too high. That's too high. That's not going to, too high. You're an idiot. You know, that guy. And I was like, is this going to drop back in? Is this going to fall back in? What's going on? And then it left, thank God. And then it was a 5-5 ball game. But even at that moment, when I saw it clear the fence there by Harrison Bader, I went, this is going to make the loss even harder because they're not winning this game. Phillies are not winning this game. Helsley obviously blew it. And then Joan Duran. Now, keep in mind, it's not a blown save. I think I heard in the end of the game, second loss for Joan Duran. But this was the perfect win for the Mets. This was like, you could not have scripted a more perfect win if you're a fan of the New York Mets. So you win last night, obviously. That makes you feel pretty good. You win. You score 13 unanswered runs. Congratulations. But the Phillies had a lead. They had a 2-run lead in the 5th inning, and then they blew it. Do you score 2 runs in the 4th inning? Or excuse me, you score 2 runs in the 5th inning. Then you take a 2-0 lead. Then the Mets come storming back to score 5 runs in the bottom of the 5th inning. So any joy you had to experience was short-lived and then quickly swung in favor of the New York Mets. And then the Phillies had a comeback. They chipped away a little bit. They got that little RBI single off the mid of Francisco Lindor at shortstop, off the bat of Edmundo Sosa. That was great. All right, chip away, get another run. Great. Harrison Bader goes up there in the 8th inning, ties things up, and it all came crashing down. Remember that show VH1 Behind the Music? That'll be a nice reference for some of you. There's a great show called VH1 Behind the Music, and I felt like when Harrison Bader hit that home run, honestly, my first thought was, and after this, it all comes crashing down. And boy, did it. That's how you found out that MC Hammer lost all his money, kids. Anyway, so Joan Duran comes in. Everything just looked flat. It looked flat and very hittable. And I'm watching the at-bat to Beatty, and I'm watching this go, and I knew, and if you know sitting at home that all Joan Duran's going to have cooking is the fastball 102, 101, whatever it's going to be, and Beatty knows it, Joan Duran knows it, I know it, JT Realmuto knows it, Fiddlesticks behind the plate, what was his name? The Willie Trainer. Everybody in the whole Citi Field knows. Even the ghosts of Ebbets Field knows that the heater's coming. Beatty, swing after swing, he is just getting a little bit more timing, finally fights it off into left field. And then next thing you know, you got the bat just in the perfect place where Brandon Marsh couldn't get to it, bases loaded. And after that, it's like, okay, well, can we get this over with, please? And thank you. Thank you. Anyway, welcome into Locked On Phillies Postcast. My name is Mark Farzetta. This is Locked On Phillies Postcast and the Locked On Phillies YouTube channel. Connor Thomas has you covered each and every day with your Locked On Phillies daily podcast. Let's talk about our players of the game.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
I'm not naming a Met. I'm not doing that again. To hell with that. I'm not naming a terrible Philly. I'm not naming Joan Duran for being bad. I'm not naming Bryce Harper for a positive of the 3 hits in the game. I'm not talking about Harrison Bader's 3 hits. If you had to name a Philly, Harrison Bader's probably the guy you'd go to in all this, But the guy that I'm going to go with here is Jesus Luzardo, because he did something tonight. You can't let it happen. You can't let this happen. He lost all composure out there on the mound. And that 5th inning was absolutely abysmal. And you can't let an umpire. It was bad for both sides. Was it confusing all hell? That especially, I noticed this more to right-handed hitters than left-handed hitters. But that pitch inside by about 6 inches off the plate was a strike most of the time. And then not a strike, I guess, whenever Willie Trainer was just like, nah, we don't need it. Human error. Yay. I hated it. I absolutely hated it. And it was throughout the game today. It was throughout the game, and this isn't why the Phillies lost the game. This is just something that was very frustrating tonight, especially if you're a pitcher and you're watching Jesus Luzardo in that 1st inning. He goes up there against Juan Soto. He gets Lindor to foul out, so he's got 1 out, done. Okay, one and done so far. Soto steps up there, and I believe it was on the 1-2 pitch, I want to say it was. Soto takes the last time out, and home plate umpire, Willie Trainer, gives him the timeout. And Luzardo has already started his windup. You can't do that. That's the whole point of the weird contact, the eye contact rule they have in baseball now. You got to look me in the eyes. Okay, all right. Nobody's calling timeout now. And he calls a late timeout. They award the timeout, and Luzardo is pissed from the start. Then after that, it's a 3-2 count. He misses, unfortunately. So he walks Soto. He's able to get out of the jam after that, but it was a 27-pitch 1st inning, and it didn't need to be with Jesus Luzardo. Now, at this point, I'm thinking, all right, now I know Romano was not coming into this game, but still, I don't feel great about your starting pitcher going out after your bullpen was pretty much depleted the previous night anyway. But maybe tonight's the big night where they're actually available. Turns out it was more of that. However, you go into that game there, you go out, coming out of the 1st inning there, Phillies get nothing going in the 2nd inning, nothing going in the 3rd inning. Luzardo looks like he started to really settle in. Then there was a couple of more missed pitches. And then when push finally came to shove in the 5th inning, again, the Phillies grabbed the 2-0 lead in the top of the 5th. Bottom of the 5th inning, Luzardo's up there at 69 pitches. Nice. Torrens goes up there. He's hit by the pitch. 0-2 sweeper. He hits him in the toe. Okay? Fine. Lindor goes up there. He gets the bloop single to center field. When you see that as a pitcher, not that I was ever a major league pitcher by any means, but if you see that as a pitcher, you just go, oh, come on. I can't even get that one. A little bloop. Then he got first and second. He got nobody out. Soto comes up there. He gets the RBI single up the middle. Bader sails the throw home. The first run crosses the plate. It's well over JT Realmuto's head. We all know at this point that JT's got mad hops, as they used to say in the day. And he can't come up with this one because this one was over the Empire State Building, unfortunately. So now everybody moves up. Now you got second and third and nobody out, and a run already has crossed the plate. At this point, you better have somebody ready to come into this game immediately, and that person was Orion Kerkering. Now, I've told you over the last couple of outings, I hate when Orion Kerkering comes in with an inherited runner. I hate when Orion Kerkering comes in even with a runner on first base. I don't care. I just feel like that run's going to score. So anyway, Marte goes up there. He got a 2-2 pitch with strike 3, inner half of the plate. It's been a strike for the first 4 innings. This is the one that was inside. That's the one that had been a strike for the first 4 innings of the game. Then all of a sudden in the 5th inning, it's not a strike anymore. That was on a 2-2 pitch. Had been a strike. Now it's not. Now you got Marte working a walk. He works a walk. He got bases loaded, nobody out. Luzardo out, Kerkering in. Well, what could go wrong? Well, everything. They end up scoring 4 more runs in the inning. 1 charged to Orion Kerkering, 4 charged to Jesus Luzardo. 5 runs, 4 hits, 1 error. That was the throw by Bader. And then 1 hit by a pitch, 1 hit batsman. That was that 5th inning. And as Luzardo is walking off the mound, you see him, you could read his lips. They did a great job on the local broadcast in Philly, on NBC Sports Philly, showing it. I don't know what they did on TBS for those watching on TBS, but you could clearly, I mean, to me, as a non-professional lip reader, it looked pretty obvious. It looked like Jesus Luzardo was yelling at Willie Traynor, hey, wake the bleep up. Wake the bleep up. This isn't the bleeping minor leagues. That's what it looked like, he said. And I bet a nice chunk of change that's exactly what he said. So anyway, Jesus Luzardo's player of the game, and not for good reason, unfortunately. Second best player of the game, I'll go with home plate umpire Willie Traynor. That's what I'll say. But again, Phillies, 1 for 9 last night, 2 for 10 today with runners in scoring position. I'll do the math. 3 for 19 runners in scoring position over 2 games here with the Mets. You're not going to win that game. You're not going to win those games, as a matter of fact. Let's talk about the turning point.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Second batter of the game, Juan Soto calls the late timeout, and Jesus Luzardo rattled. It wasn't as definitive as the balk from Christopher Sanchez in game 1 of this series last night, but it was pretty definitive. Now, he did settle in and all that, but the 5th inning, the 5th inning was just lying there, waiting, ready to pounce. We know Jesus Luzardo has had blow-up innings in the past. Unfortunately, this 5th inning was his blow-up inning, and he couldn't settle in after that. If you had to go with something a little bit more logical than my outlandish, just pissed off at the world take there, Francisco Lindor gets the bloop single. At that point, I mean, he hit Torrens there for the leadoff base runner. Lindor gets 2 runners on with nobody out on a little bloop shot there. That's when he felt, okay, the wheels are going to pop off any minute now. Bader had the bad throw, and then the 2-2 pitch to Marte. That was a strike up until that point. That's when he didn't feel like things were going to fall into place, unfortunately. As for what you'll be talking about tomorrow,
this is what you'll be talking about.
Legit concern for Joan Duran. Now, when I said earlier in the show that this was the perfect win for the Mets, again, you were down, just like you were in game 1, 3-0. This one, you were 2-0. You came back and won. The Phillies came back and tied it, and they beat your trade deadline acquisition in Helsley. And then you went ahead and beat the guy that even the Mets were after in Joan Duran. You beat the guy that's supposed to come in and slam the door, or at least give the opportunity to the Phillies to score in the top of the 10th inning. And Joan Duran couldn't do that. That's what you're going to be talking about tomorrow. And also legit concern about Joan Duran, legit concern about Orion Kerkering. Because look, I'll tell you right now, I don't care that Orion Kerkering at this point came in with the bases loaded. Can you give me a little bit better of a performance than that? Please and thank you. When you look at the final pitching stats here for the Phillies, 4 runs charged to Luzardo. Kerkering goes in there. He gives up 3 base runners, 27 pitches. Like, I understand you're not going to come in there and then all of a sudden just strike out the side. That'd be nice. But how about a fighting chance, dude? 1 inning, 2 hits, 1 walk. He only gets charged for 1 run. 27 pitches in that inning. Good God, man. That was not fun. John Duran, 4 hits. Everybody hits that I face in this inning. Woohoo. Phillies had a leadoff base run. I'll run through this coming up in a second. We'll also get your comments on this. This is Locked On Phillies postcast. Before this, or after this, excuse me, I'm going to get into some of the opportunities that the Phillies absolutely blew in this one. That's when we return. This is Locked On Phillies postcast on the Locked On Phillies YouTube channel. Like and subscribe. Yeah, could certainly need one of these with the 7:10 start times and, the Phillies not being able to get anybody out. That'll also, help with 5-hour energy. You guys should enjoy some lovely 5-hour energy. Time to fuel up and turn it up with 5-hour energy transfusion. This grape, ginger, and lime flavored shot brings the iconic taste of the golf course favorite drink to a non-alcoholic boost. Perfect for sinking birdies or making great memories with friends. It's a hole-in-one for your energy game. Golf is all about the good times with good people, good flavors, and this grape, ginger, lime flavor 5-hour energy transfusion gives you the best parts of your clubhouse go-to without leaving the course or chasing down the beverage cart. Now you can amp up your fun even more. Just buy, snap, and enter for a chance to win a dream golf trip for 2 to any golf tournament in the United States of America. Tee that trip up right now. Visit 5, that's FIVEHE, win.com for rules and entry. No purchase necessary. Excludes the Masters tournament. Ends October 31st, 2025. And how about FanDuel? You still have 1 hour left, people. 1 hour left if you are listening live, watching live, 11 p.m. Eastern Time. August 26th, officially FanDuel Futures Day. Brand new holiday for football fans who live with bold predictions and preseason hunches for just 24 hours, now down to just 1 more hour. FanDuel is giving you deals on NFL season predictions, so whether you're calling your MVP, whether you're eyeing a long-shot division winner, or ready to crown your Super Bowl champion before Week 1 even kicks off, this is your moment. So maybe you want to take a flyer on the MVP race. Maybe it's Jalen Hurts. Maybe it's Saquon Barkley. Or you can also parlay a weak division winner that you think is going to win as a dark horse. Also crown your champion, probably the Philadelphia Eagles. Visit the FanDuel app today and start planning your futures bets now because Futures Day is one day and one day only. FanDuel, play your game. Phillies, leadoff double there by Edmundo Sosa in the 3rd inning. Wasted it. 4th inning, Bryce Harper, leadoff single. Wasted it. 5th inning, Harrison Bader gets the single there, 3-2 leadoff. Nothing. Good Lord. Oh, wait, did he actually come around to score on that? I was rage taking notes. Did he score? Who scored on the Harper base knock? Oh, Wilson, Turner and Wilson did. That's the way that one went. Good times. We're all having a good time. By the way, to the New York people that are watching, sorry about Tommy Cutlets, Tommy DeVito. I mean, I can think of only one place that Tommy DeVito should go to, and that's Nick Sirianni, Kevin Patullo, Vic Fangio, Big Dom DeSandro. See where I'm going with this? Tommy DeVito. It only makes sense. And then the NFL will have a game in Rome. You know what I mean? See what they think of Cutlets over there. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, let's get into the chat check and see how you guys are doing after this putrid performance by your Philadelphia Phillies. Oh, they fought. They were going to lose this game. All right, let's get into it here. Scrolling all the way to the top, popping off people left and right. Joseph Grillo, Orion cannot inherit runners. First comment, thank you. Seabrook, just another topper special. Banks should have come into other game instead of Kerkering. come into the maybe. I don't know. The Phillies can't win at Citi Field. It's impossible. Were the lights back on in center field? Was the shine back on the parabolic mics? Jerry Von Skyver, how many times have we gotten the leadoff man on base? Difference is a series Mets hit with runners in scoring position. True. Polar Buck, I know I'm usually chipper in this chat, but I'm seething right now. I'm with you 100%. Philly 8. Trainer had in his mind after that Soto timeout that the Phillies weren't going to have a chance. The fact that we still rely on these bums is infuriating. Bring in technology. Morgan Landy, this team is scared of the Mets. I agree. I heard Crocker talking about it before the game. It's like, no Phillies. Nobody's going to admit that the other team just is in their head. And no one's going to admit to that. That means that it's even more in your head. I will give credit, though, to Bryce Harper, who did not wear the bull, batting gloves. He didn't wear the orange batting gloves, which was dumb to begin with. And he didn't wear the Mets blue spikes either. So thank you, at least, for that, Bryce Harper. Philly Nate, all the shine is off the new toy. I agree. In Duran, he's talking about. Philly Nate, I don't know. You're talking about, I should say. No. Seabrook. Dare I say Schwarber sucked? He does not suck. He's 0 for his last 16. He is in the middle of sucking, but he'll get out of sucking. I just want to say, the Phillies are a nice ball club. They really are a nice ball club because the Mets, struggling for confidence. And the Phillies were like, oh, you guys want some confidence? Here's some confidence. We're going to go up 3-0 on you. You're going to come back. We're going to go up 2-0 on you. You're going to come back. Oh, and then we're going to tie it, and you're still going to win even against our, closer that we just got. That'll be fun. Mark C. Hi, Mark. We're in deep doo-doo. This is correct. Evelyn. What's up, Evelyn? Ever since Duran got hit in the foot and ankle, everyone is getting hits off him. Any thoughts, Farzy? I'm just making. I honestly don't think that has anything to do with it. I mean, he would really have to be concerned about landing, I guess. Yeah. Evelyn Schwarber stinks. Trey stinks. Everyone stinks. 2 implosions from Duran, right? We're all having a great time. We're having a great time. Chris Moore, I'm glad I quit this team. Apparently you didn't. Still here, are you? Timothy B, Farzetta, I have no comment. I get it. Hey, peace, man. Have a great night. I get it. Bam, man, what's popping? The only reason we were in this game at the end is because of a guy who was a Met last year. Oh, man. This just became even more of a awful. They scored the first run on his error. So maybe he's the guy that dresses like a pack of Bubblicious. Maybe he was just in cahoots the whole time with his former Mets teammates. Guys, I'm going to sail the throw. Give you a run. You're welcome. Wow. CB 24203. Damn, I can't believe they blew this one. Hesley served that gift right up for them. What was this before they lost it? Sam Cromer, same-ish, different game. Right. House of Horrors says Marsh. Human error, number 69. There you go, Julian Subers. 2 down, 1 to go, says a Mets fan. Hey, please, sweep them. Sweep this team. Sweep the Phillies. Do me a favor. What is it, NOLA tomorrow? Do us all a favor. Sweep the Phillies. And then do what you guys do anyway, which is going to wet the bed for the rest of the season. But then you'll play the Phillies again in a couple weeks, and then you'll sweep it probably in a 4-game series at Citizens Bank Park. But, yeah, here's all I want. Oh, Taijuan Walker is getting the start against Nolan McLean. Okay. So I thought Nola was going. I'm an idiot. Yeah, just let Walker go through his typical 5 innings, 3 runs, 5 innings, 2 runs, and then just win this game 2-1. Give me a 9th inning Kyle Schwarber solo home run. That's it. And that'll give me enough juice to keep moving forward throughout the rest of the season. Give me that. That's all I ask for. Sweep coming for the Mets. I tend to agree. Duran was throwing 98 to 102 every pitch. That's true. He was. I would understand why Keith Hernandez thinks the Phillies are overrated when they play the Mets because they turtle up and cry in a corner when they play the Mets, especially at Citi Field. So, also, remember that time Keith Hernandez said that he feels bad for Philadelphia to have to watch the Phillies because they're so not fundamentally sound. And then they won the National League. Remember that? That was funny too. How about that, pretty boy? All right. I blame Weston Wilson. Okay. There will not be a sweep. Well, I want to put it past him. Thank you, Chris. Clean get a carve tomorrow. Oh, there we go. Walker be the stopper. Another former Met. Jordan, the Mets are daddies in New York? Okay. No further questions. Nick, I don't think I'm going to go with that nickname, but thank you for chipping in with that one. Good for you. A lot of Let's Go Mets people up here. Oh, wait, I didn't hear it. Jack, what did he say? The stat that T-Mac threw out there about Orion Kerkering was alarming, to say the least. Of 30 inherited runners this year, he's let 13 score, and yet he's Topper's first call with the bases juiced. Oh, my God. I knew it was a lot. That seems like a lot. That's a lot. Oh, my God. A lot of Mets fans infiltrating, which is, Farzetta Bald, that is correct. Your eyes do work. I'm a member of the Bald community. Proud member of the Bald community. Thank you very much. Tommy Shrove, what's up? The other problem is the Phillies get too emotional during the Mets. It certainly felt like that. Look, there's no denying it. The Mets are in their heads. Citi Field is in their heads. If something's been in center field since 2017, and now you're like, well, wait a minute, there's that light right there. That kind of lets you know that there's something going on. Like, now it's really getting you. Wallaby, yeah, good for you. Own the Phillies bullpen. Congratulations. Do I want the Mets in the playoffs? No. Wait, what? Jeff Farzy used to be a Kerkering truther? What? I mean, I've been saying this about Kerkering for a while. I'm sorry, Jeff. I'm not offended by what you said by any means, but I just don't know what you mean. Legit question. I don't know what you mean. Wait, there was somebody else I wanted to get in here. Oh, hey, Michael. I'm a Mets fan, and I don't think the Phillies are overrated. I think they are one of the best teams in Major League Baseball. Hey, thanks, Michael. Look at us. Look at us. Ross not asking that question. All right. What is happening? Wait, Romano was in the dugout? Oh, that's why they lost. Oh, there you go. Something happened after these teams went to London. Everything changed after that for both teams. That's right. Maybe they got on the wrong flights. Maybe the Phillies got on the Mets flight and the Mets got on the Phillies flight and they reversed course. Maybe that happened. A little switcheroo type of thing. I don't know. Thanks, everybody in the chat. You guys are great as per usual. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to Locked On Phillies YouTube channel. My name is Mark Farzetta. I got you covered for each and every Locked On Phillies postcast. Although, one more programming note. I'm off this weekend for Labor Day. I'll be away. So, not doing Phillies Mets. So, we'll have to manage without each other. But I'll be back Monday for the start of that Brewers series, by the way. Also, Connor Thomas has you covered each and every day for your Locked On Phillies daily podcast. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Back with you guys tomorrow as the Phillies look to avoid the brooms. Good luck. See you then. Bye.